right, good Monday, everybody. Good Monday, good Monday. I'm just going to write these people down who are here joining us today. Sean, Savannah, Misty, Geraldine, and Gilda. Well, as you can notice, I'm here and Anton is not. So, there was a little bit of a hiccup at the shop this morning, and we didn't know about the hiccup until about 5 minutes ago. So, believe it or not, Anton showed me how to start the YouTube, and it worked. So I'm pretty excited about that. Because, you know, people who know me know that geek is not my thing. Pressing buttons and swiping things and trying to get things in order. But hopefully he'll be back in 15 minutes or so, goddess willing. And it's really funny because the topic of today is going to be looking at what is the universe trying to tell us. So, you know, we always say, as above, so below, as within, so without, as the universe, so the soul. So, what does that mean? Well, I truly think that it means what's going on in the heavens, what's written in the stars, the astrologos, the astrology, affects what's going on down here, just like the moon affects the tides. As within, so without. What's going on inside of us, how we're feeling and thinking, affects our aura and energy that's going on outside of us. Oh, look, I got Marmalena and Yvette and Anne Marie and Susan and Wendy and Cass. Oh, my goodness. All right, let me get this written down, and then I'll finish the last one. Anne Marie and Cass. Okay, and Susan, sorry. All right, as the universe, so the soul. So that pretty much means that we are part of everything that's going on. So we look to the heavens, as astrologers, we look to see, you know, what's going on up there and what could that mean for us. And then I think the next important thing to do is figure out how to make the best of that, or how to react or respond to that. Or, you know, the very basic, what about this do I have any control over? And what kind of control do I have? Well, I think the most important thing we have is our thoughts, right? Our thoughts. Here's the information that's coming at us. Here's the situations that are coming at us. Here's the you know, the general things that are going on in our lives. And how do we feel about that? How do we think about that? And what can we do to make it better? Well, we have our thoughts, and we can make our plan A or plan B or plan C or even plan D if we really need to. And we have our actions. So if we see something coming that we think is going to be very stressful, we can plan ahead to breathe through that, even though it might really still be really, really screwed up and stressful. But we have a little bit of a plan. And then other times, like this morning, hysterically enough, things come at us that we didn't plan for at all. And we knew that, you know, things in the heavens are going like chaos, panic, and disorder. My work here is done. Ha ha. But there are things that you didn't plan for that you just have to figure out on the fly. And you have to step up, right? So the control I had over this situation, I could either go by myself and try to take care of the thing at the shop, but Anton's probably better at doing that than me. So that meant we either start late, cancel, or I step up and do the video thing. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to put a positive mindset here. I'm going to step up and I'm going to do this. and I wrote down exactly what I have to do, double click on there and then move down there and click on that and then swipe with 3 fingers to do that. I wrote it all down and it's cool. And I thought, well, you know, they'll just be stuck with me until he gets back. He'll be back at some point. So there you go. Make sure I'm not missing anybody here. Cass, Geraldine, and Helena. Okay. So that's where we're at, peeps. So what is written in the stars for this week? What is the universe trying to tell us? What are we being offered? Well, the moon, which is witches. Who mentioned witches? Somebody say witches? The moon, which the witches look at, is waxing, right? We just had the new moon that put us into the Rowan lunation. And now the moon is getting bigger. It's growing. And the full moon will happen on the 25th. So that means that the new moon was in Capricorn and the full moon will be in Cancer. And the waxing phase is going to be in the cardinal sign between Cancer and Capricorn because we have sets. So the waxing moon or first quarter moon, however you want to look at that, say that, is going to be in Libra. So as we're moving along into this phase, we want to think about what does Libra offer. Libra offers justice and fairness. Libra can also offer contracts or partnerships. And Libra can also expose enemies, believe it or not, that 7th house thing. So we may be given a few challenges to think about how we're going to act fairly and how we're going to, make sure that people who need to be held responsible are held responsible. And then, astrology is a funny thing. We kind of have a big, vast amount of things that would fall into that category, right? For example, I received finally some dishes that I'd been waiting for a long time that I got on sale. I collect false craft dishes. And I was supposed to get 4 plates, and they charged me for 4 plates, and they sent 1. So this is like a minor little thing, but it's about justice and fairness. So, that's a tiny little thing, but it's still in this category of this waxing moon phase. But it could be something way bigger. You could be negotiating a big contract that's going to last for a while. Who knows what? Let me see what people are saying. Good so far. Okay, yeah. Oh, good. Finally, I got this going. My phone wouldn't show me the live. Well, hello, Savannah. At the exact moment the live stream started, my offer on a certain item from Europe was accepted. Oh, so the biggest piece of the adventure is on the way. And Wendy says the full moon will be in Leo. Yes, it will. The full moon will be, sorry, you're right, in Leo, in the Aquarius time of the year. Sorry about that. The last full moon in December, I apologize, was in Cancer. So now you're going to make me look in the ephemeris again. I want to make sure. Hi, Peggy. Now I'm going to look at the ephemeris again to make sure I know what I'm doing here. Oh, you're right, Wendy. We had the Libra part. Now we're going to have the Aries part. Oh, my goodness. So that shifts that a little bit. Aries is about the self, not partnerships. So you see, this morning was all screwed up. But there is definitely a chaos, panic, and disorder component. So Aries is about the self and about planting the seeds and about contracts. What we also have is some energy focusing in Capricorn. We have Mercury in Capricorn from 1 to 7 degrees. We have Venus has moved out of Sag and into Capricorn on the 24th. So Venus is in Sag right now. We have the Sun at its last part of the tour of Capricorn till it moves into Aquarius. We have Mars in Capricorn. So again, these are all, Capricorn is very much about career and trying to stabilize things. But there are so many other things that are kind of pushing at us. I think we also have to keep our eye on Pluto. Pluto is at 29 degrees Capricorn, and it's going to move into Aquarius when the Sun moves into Aquarius later this month. And that week I'll talk about all the things that are moving into Aquarius and the full moon. But I think just the main thing to focus on right now is, what can I control and what is out of my control? What can I put positive energy into and not get worked up about? And what do I have to figure out a way to deal with, right? Sometimes things go on that are just out of our control, that something comes up or a circumstance that we weren't prepared for at all, and we have to deal with it. And it's, do it or don't. But I think a lot of times if we set our mind to something, we can do it. And we can find a way to go around it, over it, through it, or what have you. And I think that we really do, as this moon is waxing and the energy of the wheel of the year is coming towards that quickening. Like, I don't know if people have started to notice the days are a tiny bit longer, even though we've been having a lot of dreary gray weather here in New York. And even though it's very, very cold now, the days are getting that tiny bit longer, and the light seems to be shifting a little bit. And we're coming for Gualmer or Imbolc in the time of Aquarius as well, which is like that quickening energy. So there's a lot of push, a lot of drive, a lot of energy. We can call on that Venus in Sag right now to kind of move us forward, or open us up to a sense of a little bit of adventure and dealing with what we have to deal with. And I don't know, I just think that we're living in some very, very interesting times astrologically. I want to talk a bit more about Pluto because, I had said before that it had been in Aquarius for quite some time. And now, in Capricorn for quite some time, and now it's going to move into Aquarius for about 20 years. And where it's been for the last 6 months or so is kind of in the last degree of Capricorn. And many astrologers kind of feel that when a planet is in that 29 degrees, that it's kind of in like a death position, in a sense, that it's come to the end of its life in that emanation, right? So we'd been feeling Pluto through Capricorn, all through the thing with the banking and bail out the bank and all the stuff with housing and all those things that have been very kind of Capricorn stability, security, uproar and all that business, because we know Pluto is kind of like destroys it and rebuilds it. But this last 6 to 8 months in particular, Pluto has kind of been on its deathbed in Capricorn. And we saw it move into Aquarius for a tiny bit, and we had this big AI explosion, and then it went and laid back down again, let's say. But towards the end of the month, Pluto is going to move into Aquarius, and I feel like Pluto is going to start to propel us forward. Uranus is going to come out of retrograde, and we're going to feel that chaos propelling us forward. Oh, I think he's back. So right now, I think is just like a, believe it or not, a bit of a calm before the next storm, which sounds crazy, I suppose, because it's just been chaos, panic, and disorder. My work here is done. But I feel that the few months, the beginning of this year, moving into eclipse. Hello!
Am I allowed to burst in
Yes,
on
you
the
are.
scene?
Moving into eclipse season, we are going to feel like we're on a bit of a roller coaster ride. But I think things are going to be okay. Oh, you've come back with something.
Well, it came. My book came. I was hoping it was apart from the snowblower,
But it's not. It's
So-
a book for the Moon Mansion.
oh my goodness gracious me, we've got a ton of people
Yep.
here.
They're telling me they're glad I braved the technology, but I screwed up and looked in the ephemeris the wrong way, and was talking about the waxing moon in Libra when it's actually the waxing moon in Aries. But it's all good.
It's all good. So you got us online, look.
I did it. You got the store open and it's all good.
Chaos ad nauseum.
I know,
What could possibly go wrong, right? That's it.
It's all good. So anyway, I still
Excuse
think
me.
that Aries, the waxing moon in Aries, is talking about accountability and not being wary and being more just and fair.
No tie-dye. No, it is a tie-dye. It is. It's just a
very
very,
faint.
very subtle one. I'd have to get close up to the camera, but this I think my sister got me this.
Yeah,
if
she brought it.
Yeah.
They went to Hawaii.
Yeah, it might be from Hawaii or something
Yeah.
like that. But it's a very, very subtle tie-dye. But
Oh.
it is a tie-dye.
She says, "Hi, waffle, waffle."
We need to talk, don't we?
Oh, goodness. All right. So, what's written in these stars, what the universe is trying to tell us is get ready. The quickening is happening. Be calm. Think about what you can control. Think about how you can feel. Think about what you're putting into your energy, right? You know, the other morning he was making breakfast and something happened and he was like, "Rah, rah, rah," and I said, "Don't put that in my eggs." You know, so you can be calm in the face of a storm. You can handle it. Look, we got this thrown at us today. The store is open. No problem. I'm here. We're live. It's all good.
Kind of
So
worked.
you just got to do what you got to do, and in spite of it, right? So Aries is a good sign for the waxing moon. Aries helps us fight the problems. Aries is that warrior. So there still is that Aries Libra axis that says, you know, what's fair and just, and how do you want to work this out?
Yeah, but we probably just run it through anyway because that's the
Stab
Martian
it.
way. Is it stab it?
The Martian way. Stab it.
Stab it.
Well,
But then feel remorseful about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. God, I'm proud of you. Well done, you.
Well,
Well
I
done.
wrote it down. Good Lord.
Well, she had like a 10-second quick. Here's how you put.
No, I wrote it down. There's no way I would have
online, so-
remembered it because my brain is not like that.
Well, that's all good. That's all. Oh my gosh, there's like. No,
I've written everybody down. There's not that many.
He's getting something from Europe. Oh, I think I know what that is.
Yes,
Sean.
I think we might know what that is. There's a lot of work to do.
Oh my. Oh my. All right. Well, gosh, I'm trying to catch up on all of these things. Hello, everybody. Gosh, there's a ton of people here today. And no hot dogs, which is good.
Shh, don't mention
Hot dogs. Hot dog, don't
But yeah,
mind
Wendy
me.
saved me because I looked in the ephemeris at the wrong thing.
Oh, well, you know,
But I'm
had a lot
better
on your
now.
plate.
I keep
Had a
the
lot on your
ephemeris
plate.
right here.
Gosh, yeah. So we're probably going to go put ourselves in book jail in a bit. So because we've
For the
got
next
a million.
4 days, I think.
There's so much to do. It's just I don't know.
But you know, this is what
It's
happens
good, though.
too.
The days are just packed.
It is the quickening time, and as you get towards the end of a project, there's all those things that need to be sewn up, and you know, you got to just check.
Or in
everything.
our case, written up.
Check everything. Check everything. Check everything. Check everything. Check everything.
Check everything twice. Well, there was actually an update which I did earlier today for Livestream Studio, and they still haven't fixed that. Because although our hair is perfect, our it says stream status actually.
It
Perfect.
says that we have 0
Let's
viewers.
just go hair. Your hair is perfect.
Stream status perfect. Viewers 0.
Which is
I
a complete
think
lie.
Not because we have
A
some
bunch,
peeps over here.
a whole bunch of people watching us. So yeah, Livestream Studio. It's good, but it's not perfect. If you're watching, you could improve upon it.
All right. So Rowan.
Rowan,
I haven't
berry,
talked
red
about
thread.
Rowan berry, red thread, keep us safe from all dread. Yes, well,
it
that's
stop.
like our little
Make it
traditional
stop.
thing that we use. But
Yeah.
but Rowan is perfect for the quickening, right? It's perfect for this time of year.
That's fire.
It's fire of fire. It wants to heat things back up. It'll grow in craggy rocks. It will find a way. Right? It'll find a way. What's this here? I'm being subtle. Mine says 15 viewers. Okay. Ours says
15 concurrent
15
right
concurrent,
now.
18 total. I don't
Yes.
know what that means, but anyway.
All right. Well, I think that's just gone up to 16. So it's all getting very confusing. I don't know. What we would like to see is like 2 noughts on the end of that.
Yeah, 1,500. That would be cool.
Or 1,600. You
I
know?
just don't know how you get to be
Less of a
less of a
well-kept
well-kept secret.
I don't know. Maybe we'll just
It's
try that
really,
non-player character thing.
really funny, too, because for some reason, Tarot for Tomorrow, we had like 1,000, 2,000, 1,200, right, on like TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook
and then
Reels.
35.
And then the next day it was like 135, and we're like, oh man,
What
because we thought, oh look, they're finally showing us to people. It's going to be
I
great.
think it was in the thousands again.
And then there was like,
yesterday.
no,
So,
it's only 300 and something.
on
It's
TikTok?
just,
I don't know.
it's just
I never
crazy. I
looked.
don't know how it works. And I don't know that I'm savvy enough to figure it out, but I'll just keep doing it because I love doing it. So
I don't know. Yeah, so I see people, oh look, now it's going up again. So listen, I can see the number of likes doesn't match the number of concurrent viewers, which means there are several of you watching that have not matched the like button. This is simply not on, I have to say. It is not a big ask for you to mash that like button. Mash it, mash it, mash it. Spam some hearts.
it's all good.
As you do.
As you do.
Invite some friends. Have a party. Why don't we? We could do that. We have gin and tonics.
All right,
But
so
maybe not so early.
what else do we know about Rowan?
Rowan. Oh, I love it.
I'm
It's
born
other names.
under the sign of Rowan.
Well, yes, you are. Yes, you are. Rowan is an amazing tree. It's known as mountain ash, but it isn't really a member of the ash family. But it's just got those.
Oh, there goes some hearts. Doot, doot, doot.
Oh, well, thank you.
Their berries have pentacles on them.
They
That's
do,
cool.
they do. But the reason they call it ashes, somebody's spamming hot dogs now as well.
No.
Well, they're spamming something. I don't know. What are they? They're congratulations things.
Oh yeah, they're little corns.
Huh? Hey, okay.
Cornucopias of
I'm getting all confused now.
cornucopias of confetti.
Confetti. Oh, we like confetti. That's good. Anyway, no, the reason it's called the mountain ash is because the leaf structure, which is these horizontally opposed compound leaves, look very similar to that which you would get on an ash tree. But it's not actually. Its Latin name, if I can do this one, is Sorbus alpicia, which means sweet bird catcher. The reason being is it attracts birds because we have one right outside our
The shop. It's a
right
beautiful
outside
big
the
tree. It's
porch.
getting really huge.
It is absolutely festooned with berries in the fall.
The mouse ate.
Well, yeah. They were set aside for Magick, but sadly the mouse had other plans. We need a mouser at work. That's what we need. But then again, it'd probably poop in the sand of the crystals or whatever.
Oh my God! I'll tell that. Tell that story.
Clarice, you could tell them the story about
I
it.
will.
So yeah, it's called mountain. Well, that's why it's got the ash bit. It's called mountain because it has this propensity to grow in really difficult terrain, like on the side of a mountain. Literally hangs on to the craggy rocks. Its root structure is amazing. It's got a lot of horizontally sprouting roots which can find their way into all sorts of cracks, and it holds on with incredible tenacity. It's also inherently flexible, so it can take a good battering, in the harsh climate on a mountain kind of thing without it getting knocked over. So it's got, when you look at it, it looks like, and I think in certain folklores it's called like the flame, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Is the other one? What are you talking about?
I'm thinking about the episode.
Oh no. Okay. All right. But it's a beautiful tree to behold, even though it's not the biggest tree in the world. it's big in heart. It's big in heart, big in it just like does things to the extreme, which is probably why it's like that fire of fire kind of thing going on.
Transforms.
Anyway,
helps to turn the wheel.
Go on then, throw your little what's
and in bulk is fir, which is an evergreen. All right. So one time while we were away in the UK,
when we were commuting,
when we were commuting and we were first together, I had a beautiful little cat. Her name was Clarice, and she was tiny, and she was like peach and white fluff. She had really long hair.
Very white.
She kept her white very white, and she was so sweet and so smart. In fact, I haven't really had another cat that was that smart since. Okay. So the person who's covering for us, now she had somehow weaseled her way from the apartment and jumped down the stairs. We don't know how. The alarm didn't go off.
Well, she's little.
And she had some escapades in the store. So the person who's covering for us opens the back door, and she sticks her head around. She's up on the counter, and she sticks her head around to see who it is. And he's like, oh my God, that's Clarice. Shuts the door, forgets to key his numbers into the alarm. So now the alarm is going to go off, but that's the least of the worries. So it comes around and realizes she had taken an entire pound of catnip.
Oh God, no.
And spread it all over what's the tarot room now that we used to have herbs on the wall in there. So she had demolished an entire bag of catnip, like just spread it all over the place and eaten God knows how much of it. Came around behind the counter and threw up.
Well, surprise.
So, of course, now the alarm is going off and the alarm company calls. So he has to come around to get the phone. When he comes to get the phone, he steps in the cat puke.
Lovely.
And then because she couldn't get back upstairs, she used Anton's photo box that was white silica sand for the litter box. So... Oh, God.
Yep.
It all got cleaned up and she got put back up in the apartment. But yeah, she had quite the escapade. She ate all the catnip, puked on the floor, pooped in the silica sand, and set the alarm off. Well, it wasn't really her fault, but yes, it was because she was distracted.
Clarice's big adventure.
Clarice's big adventure.
Yes.
Anyway.
I remember with the first time I came over here was December 15th in 1998. When I first set for about 2:30 in the afternoon, to be precise. When I first set foot on these sacred shores, and of course we had to go get a tree. How many times did she pull it over?
Oh, I don't know. A couple that tied it to the wall.
Oh, okay.
She also set her tail on fire during Magick.
Oh, that was fun.
Your cat is on fire.
Well, she was actually.
Yes.
To be
all
fair.
right. Life
What
in
we
the
got
fast
then?
lane.
Everybody's laughing their arses off. Look.
Well,
so we told
it was
them all about
funny.
Rowan. Yes,
Rowan
is a
Berry,
lovely...
red thread, keep us safe from all dread.
I'll make it stop. Chanting that for about 6 hours.
Well, we will.
I missed it. No.
You didn't miss much. I talked about astrology, but I talked about the wrong waxing moon, so I had to backtrack.
Oops.
But my message is still clear that control what you can control, and you can always control your own thoughts and your own actions. So
there you have it.
That's my message for today. Whatever is coming at you, think about what's in your control and act appropriately.
Gosh, look at that.
What's the matter?
Lots of people.
Lots of people.
Most of them are channel members, you would see.
Yes, I know.
You've got them all down
I've
in
got
order.
them all down. So
Look at that.
Sean is first.
Yes, why not? It'll be the
we're already
hermit
halfway
then.
through. It's
Well, no,
crazy.
actually, it'll be the four of
Four
wands.
of Wands. Well, it's either wands or swords for him.
Ah, here, I see this has popped up. I'm going to skip that.
What does that mean?
It says we're about to insert ads. I just saw that. Maybe that's new. And so I stopped the ads being inserted.
Aye. Okay.
And looking at it, I bet that's because it goes on the half hour, doesn't it?
I don't know.
Bet it does, because he would have been on exactly half an hour, assuming he started on time. All right, so, Sean. What?
So Sean.
So Sean. This is a really interesting one. This is a card very much about partnerships, but it's not necessarily a romantic partnership, although that can be indicated.
It could be a business partnership.
This could be, just working with somebody to achieve something. And it's kind of cool because if we look at these two people who we assume are the happy couple that have just gotten spliced and jumped the broomstick, it's interesting to note that their gaze is out. They're looking out, not at each other. So this is very much about when you do get into a proper relationship, the relationship doesn't subsume you, or you don't try and subsume your partner. It truly is this kind of partnership thing. So this doesn't have to be anything to do with an actual romantic relationship either. This could be, working with somebody else, bringing your own ideas to the picture, bringing your own thoughts, and working sort of very closely in cooperation with somebody else. But what's interesting here is this bridge. And this is the same bridge that we see, I believe, on the Five of Cups. Yeah. It's exactly that same structure, those three arches, But in this instance, the bridge is absolutely adorned with flowers and all that sort of stuff, rather than, it being the water under the bridge of the Five of Cups. But understand that this, I think, is the wisdom of Ben de Gaidran in the second branch of the Mabinogi. Avo ben byd bont. And it's really funny because we were talking about that, about mutations, how
because bridge is
pont, P-O-N-T.
But then it's bont later.
But it turns into bont when you've got a bead in front of it, apparently. So, I still don't understand that. I've no clue. My mutations.
Chromatic mutations, yeah. That's...
But avo ben byd bont. He would be a leader must first be a bridge. And when you think about how polarized the whole world has become at this point, and there are certain individuals doing their absolute level best to polarize people even more, the true leader is the one who finds the common ground, who brings people back together, and forms that bridge, that connecting part of ideas and thoughts and energies. And you look like you've drifted off into sleep.
I'm just waiting for my turn. I'm
trying
to stay focused on what. No, like I'll do a reading be about 30 seconds. He'll do a reading be about 4 minutes. So I have to focus on what I'm going to say and hold that while you waffle on.
Okay, now there's going to be a forest of waffles appear in the chat.
Or hot dogs. All right.
Hot dog. Don't mind if I do.
This is a picture of a union, a wedding. Jewish wedding ceremony. They're walking under the arch.
How do you know it's Jewish?
Well, you don't really, but it is one of the things they do is walk under an arch.
It is? Okay.
Okay. Anyway, I feel like this is about a promise you've made to yourself and figuring out a way to keep that promise. So sometimes we're our own worst enemy, and sometimes we're our own best friend. And I feel like this card is saying, be your own best friend and figure out a way to keep the promise to yourself. I am first for Savannah.
There you go then. So
now you get to keep in your mind what you want to say. Savannah.
Forget it all.
A
lot of celebrations.
Yeah,
I mean,
this is a
that
good
was
card.
Also a celebratory card.
So I think that you may be working closely with 2 other people to create some wonderful magic. So I don't know what you do when I don't see you. I know what you do when I do see you, but but I feel like you are in a place where you're working in cahoots in a good way with some other people who are very focused on something that you want to focus on. And I do think it's going to take a lot of your energy and a lot of effort, but I think it's going to be well worth it. I don't know what that was.
I don't know. We both had to cough at the same time, just to peak the microphone. That's probably what it was. We just need to do that
to blow everybody's ears off who have their earbuds in.
No, I think there is a sense of accomplishment here, and very much the ability, I think, at this stage just to just to bloody enjoy, you know. There's so much, I think, that puts us under a fair degree of pressure from time to time, and we're like, how are we going to make this work? How are we going to do this? How are we going to do that? But, you know, sometimes it all just comes together and you go, yeah, wow, okay. And when that happens, don't second guess it. Excuse me. Don't.
I think there's some kind of
No, I don't know what it is.
smoke, but there's not usually smoke.
There's
I don't know.
what candle did you light?
Positive energy.
Oh, well, there you go. We're getting plenty of positive energy then. No, it very much is. I think, you know, don't wait for the other shoe to drop. I think that's the word I'm trying to say. If things are going well, celebrate it and embrace that and be happy about it and really just allow yourself to be in a celebratory phase. After all, you know, that is where we aim to be. That is supposed to be, you know. Was it life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness? Stop chasing it. Just be happy. Yeah. Don't worry, no. Be
I see
happy.
that somebody new, Black Butterfly Cocoon, has joined us. On our Monday morning program, we only pull cards for channel members or people who offer a super chat.
Doesn't matter how much.
So that's up to you if you want to do that or not. Okay.
Yeah, we'll pull you a card if you throw us a super chat. Or become a channel member because we're trying to grow our channel. That's what we're trying to do.
I am. We started a diet game and we play for points on teams. That's cool. All right. So you're first for Misty.
Oh, hello, Misty. Well, you got to see everybody before me, so I didn't see her. Time to put spurs to horse, love. Get it going. You know, it's all right having great ideas. It's all right having magnificent plans, but you still actually got to act on them. There's a massive amount of untapped potential lies before you. So much the ploughed field goes off both sides of the card here. It's there. It's ready for you to do something with it. The ground is prepared. So just hanging on here, you know, the only vegetation that's growing is it's on the horse's head and your helmet, so to speak. So sometimes it's necessary just to get going. You know, maybe you don't have it totally down. Maybe you don't have your plan, you know, perfectly nailed, but you can pither about forever and rethink it and rethink it and rethink it, or you can just start gently walking towards it and adjust as you go, and that would be my counsel.
And what I will remind everybody though is that whoever is here, a lot of the information will be part of the like group mind of the reading. So Misty, I think this is a reminder that you only have a short time left while the sun is still in Capricorn to set your intentions, right? Even if you are so busy, all you can do is sit down with a piece of paper and write out 4 or 5 things that you'd like to see accomplished this year. It's important that you at least make a start, right? There's a ton of potential here. There's all these things that you want to look forward to. Put them in writing. Fix your intentions so you can focus on them. And just do one little thing, even if that's just make the list. Because I think this year is going to get away from you if you don't start somewhere.
Things do get away, don't they?
I have a lag, but thank you. I'm definitely celebrating our community commitment to needed changes. All right,
yeah.
cool.
Well, I know some people, I don't understand. Some people like cap things much quicker than others. I don't know. There's,
I'm first for Geraldine.
temporal distortions going
Geraldine, the world is your oyster.
on. Another celebratory card, if I can even say it.
Another way of moving forward, taking what's available to you and making the best of it. So you think this dancer has 2 of the wands that the magician has. So that's like twice the magic. So I feel like you've paid your dues, you've worked really hard, and now you may do some traveling or exploring or learning and again, just kind of getting yourself back.
This this is that old Lemaitre song, isn't it? The needle returns to the start of the song and we all sing along as before. Except we don't. You might be coming to a start of a new phase of something, but you've got you've got a whole life's worth of experience that you now can bring to the mix. This person, in my mind, this is in my mind for what it's worth, this is the person who at one stage at the High Priestess was positioned in front of the veil between the two pillars of severity and mercy. This person is now wearing the veil and has harmonized those two energies, if you will, those two opposing energies. So they don't oppose anymore, they're harmonized. And that is, again, avoben bid bont, harmonizing those energies. A very celebratory card. It's about bringing these are...
And having the courage to step through into the next phase.
These 4 fixed signs of the zodiac that we get there: fixed air, fixed water, fixed fire, and fixed earth. Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio. I did them in chronological order, which I didn't do first, but you'll figure that out. These oppose one another, and they square one another. So you have quartered. The whole circle is quartered here. So it's this kind of, I don't know, this energy that ostensibly, while it opposes each other, when everything brings it into harmony, it really works out well. And I think this is a case of you now, the stuff, as Lisa said, you've paid your dues, you've done what was necessary. So there is, cause for celebration here. But now, as we begin the next phase, we've got that wealth of experience we can bring with us, which is fantastic, in my mind.
All right, you're first for Gilda.
Okay, Gilda. Hello. Oh, not another. We've got a lot of sucky cards today, haven't we? Well, this one doesn't suck either. This is the King of Pentacles. This is very much, I think, things are going to start to get a lot easier for you financially. There is, you're tapping into a stream of abundance in some way, which I think some of this is actually the very fact that this is he's dripping in grapes. I mean, this can indicate a problem with alcoholism, but that isn't the case at all here.
What?
The huge amount of grapes,
Oh. I'm sorry, I use my 4 or 5 of cups for...
Interesting, that. Each to their own, as the saying goes. So, but... No, this very much is somebody who's really appreciates the finer things. I mean, hunts the Taurian Venus rulership kind of thing. But for me, this is it's like stuff you've kind of manifest or grown yourself. In the same way as you would with like planting a vineyard. Initially, there's not a lot to look at. You've got some sticks and twizzly bits going on. But eventually, as it matures and it sets in, you can expect each year to get this incredible fecundity, this amazing harvest of grapes. And I think this is what this kind of bounty is coming onto. It's stuff that you've laid the seeds for. It's stuff that you've planted and you've nurtured. And I think it's starting to pay off. That would be my 2 cents. And thank you for the hot dog. Don't mind if I do, Helena.
I get a sense, Gilda, that this is about security and organization. Sometimes, even though the chaos is great, and I know Aquarians are going to be really getting some chaos the end of the month, sometimes the more organized we are, the more secure we feel, even in the face of the chaos. And I kind of get this feeling for you with this card, that you've juggled all you're going to juggle, and you've sorted all you're going to sort, and you're in a place now where you feel like firm footing, roots, schedule, I got this. So I really like this card for you. Yes, it's a good prosperity card, but I feel like it's just a sense of security. And I think that's a good thing to have.
Security.
Right. I'm first for Anne Marie. She's over this way, I feel.
All right, then.
Anne Marie. A few little legal matters, tying up loose ends, finishing up signing documents, notarizing things, getting things organized. It's like the completion of something and the final sign off on that. like, you know, all the paperwork is done, the closing is happening, I'm ready to move to the next thing. I also feel like you want to leave yourself enough time to meet those deadlines. You don't want to be rushed and pushed, because sometimes the faster we go, the more we are slowed down by something. So pace it, get it done, look at the details, dot the I's, cross the T's, finish it out in a good way.
This is my King of Solomon card. He was the one, if you recall, as the parable has it, that two women were arguing about the one baby, each claiming the child was theirs, and went before his court, and he said, "Oh, fine, cut the baby in half, give them, half each." And of course, the one woman went, "Oh God, no, please don't harm the child. Let her have him." And he promptly turned around and said, "Ah, you be the real mother." So everybody gave him the golf clap and a go. What a wonderful outcome. Could have been different, but he took somebody to a place where they didn't want to be, to present an unconscionable scenario, if you will, to actually push it. And sometimes I think it's necessary, if somebody's like being a bit flimmy-flammy with you, that you might want to just, take them through the walk through the garden of enlightenment, if you will. And very much, keep your boundaries, keep your this is okay, this is not okay, and I think this is something that as an inherently spiritual person, it's very easy to yield sometimes and just be the peacekeeper, or be the one that wants to make things right and happy and good and all that, when sometimes somebody just needs to be told, no, that's out of order, you can't do that. So it doesn't make you weak by being assertive. It doesn't make you not spiritually aware by asserting yourself. It's just self-respect. And respect yourself, honor yourself, and you'll find that the universe has a weird way of like slipping into step with that.
There you go. All right.
So
you're first for Cass.
All right, Cass.
Gilda says she's not an alcoholic. She doesn't drink.
Didn't say you were. Oh, shut up. I didn't. Speaking of drinking.
More cups.
More cups. Actually, I think you know what this card means. It's largely self-explanatory when one looks at the face of this card. To me, to be honest, this does indicate a mutually healing of a relationship that may be on the cards for you. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So, it's okay. That's just what I want to tell you. It's okay.
Really? You go that quick?
Sure.
All right, then I'll take a little bit.
Go for it.
This is known as the soulmates card.
It is.
But I just really, when he pulled it for you, I really focused on this caduceus, which is a medical symbol. And I feel like there is great healing being offered. So sometimes the healing is between you and your inner self, your soul and psyche. And I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like you've thought things through, you've worked things out, you've gone over and over things. And I feel like whatever this plan in the background here is, it's a really good one. It may possibly involve a move, I don't know. But I feel like there's just a great sense of healing, of understanding your soul's purpose and what's going on inside of you, and just feeling really good about it.
Misty, thank you so much. That's hugely generous of you. I think.
No, I didn't forget you, Susan. You're next. right here. I have you. I might have written you in the wrong order, but I was under stress of trying to do my everything for myself.
Trying to be the AV tech this morning.
All right. So I'm first for Susan.
Go for it then.
All right, Susan. This is my Christopher Columbus, world at your fingertips. But sometimes in order to make things work out, you really have to focus, right? So you see, instead of him having the world packed in a bag thrown on his back, he has the world in his hand and he's surveying. So for you, I feel like plans and sticking to them are going to be really, really important. Plans and sticking to them, especially where travel is concerned. So, you know, the story where he didn't have the funds and he went to the Queen of Spain, I think it was, didn't he, to get the funds for the ships? And you know,
you know more about Columbus than I do.
But just pushing yourself for discovery purposes, staying focused.
Yeah, I suppose Columbus doesn't really come into the British history, really, because, you know...
Well, he didn't really discover America anyway.
No, I think it wasn't lost.
No. There were some indigenous people.
Yes, the First Nations, I think, you know, whatever. It wasn't lost, but it was
it's like the mythology or the understanding or the idea that unless he mapped out his place, he wasn't going to get there.
Yes. Well, I guess so.
Queen Isabella, thank you. There you go.
All right, then. Well, see, you've got historians know about it. Historian I am not. I have enough trouble with my own history, to be honest. Anyway,
well, this card could mean something totally different for Susan, for you.
Well,
That's fine.
It's interesting that again, looking out to sea, especially, you know, away to the left in this instance, is indicative, I think, of an unresolved emotional issue, which is sort of causing you a bit of internal disquiet. It may well have been, you know, it's not yet been grounded out. As we can see, we've got one wand touching the ground here, and this one's still sort of held up. He's got it on top of this balustrade rather than down onto the ground. So it's like energy that needs to be sort of like resolved, I think, grounded out, more firm foundation. There is, I think, as Lisa said, that tendency to be a little wistful in your thinking, a little hazy, and really what you need is a more concrete idea of you know, this is it, this is what I'm doing, so less of idea, more of a plan, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? We all have what is it they say, you know, an idea without a plan is just a wish. So wishing is good. There's absolutely nothing wrong with wishing. It's a fantastic thing to do. But if you want to make that wish a reality, it's necessary to put some meat on your plan and sort of ground it out to know where it is that you're going. Where you're going.
Right. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say was, for anybody who still has a Year of the Water Rabbit candle or candle remnant left, this is your last hurrah to burn it, because the next new moon is going to bring in Year of the Wood Dragon. So do your last little bit of petitioning the energy of Water Rabbit.
Unless, of course, you're one of the avid candle collectors who wants to store it for all posterity.
Well, Water Rabbit's
like,
not going to come for another 60 years.
Well, maybe you want to get it signed by us while we're still on this mortal coil.
You're first for Helena.
Helena, you just get a hot dog. All right.
Oh, waffle.
Not a bad...
Victory.
Not a bad card at all. It's, yes, again, another celebratory...
Yeah, there's a really good energy here. A light, a quickening, and a positive energy. And again, I think the things that I said about Libra in the beginning, we're looking at that Libra-Aries axis, so we still can hold people accountable, especially ourselves.
Well, yeah, you know, especially ourselves, because, you know, ultimately, as the inscription on Uncle Al's wand says, I have, whilst living, conquered the universe. Anyway, moving on. There's a lot of ones on this one. There's 6, in fact. So, victory. It really is.
That's the one word for this card, victory.
Victory. You will be victorious. You are victorious. You have overcome, you know. Whatever curveball was thrown your way, whatever poop sandwich they gave you, You're going to be victorious. It's going to come good. Just keep the faith, and remember, especially if you're fighting a little bit at the moment, it's always coldest before dawn, not darkest, because you get that morning nautical twilight where the sky starts to pale, but it's coldest before the sun comes up. And in winter you can bloody well feel it. It's like, oh, and it gets into your bones, and it can be, but know that the sun's going to come up and you're going to feel that warming very soon, and just be focused on your victory.
So when we look at this card, we see he has a wreath on his head that looks a lot like the wreath on the Empress's head. And the wreath that's on his head and that he's holding on his spear also looks like the wreath of the World card. So this is about like understanding and rebirth and a very kind of shamanic transformation and a victory of moving forward through that door. So I think all you have to do is plan your route and you can make it happen. So I see this as a very, very positive card for the next week.
What's Misty saying?
Misty says YouTube needs to make more
something options on here. I can't read it because there's a heart on top of it.
I don't know. Something pin options.
All right.
I don't know. All right. I'm first for Anna.
Oh, well, there you go.
Emperor. All
Emperor.
Right. I feel like this is kicking ass and taking no prisoners. If somebody is harassing you or telling you something is not the way you know it is, that might be time to assert your authority with grace, obviously, because this is a very Aries kind of, an Aries warry kind of energy, but he is seated on a concrete throne, so he has the authority and the confidence and the he's in the right. So something that is either due to you or that you have worked for, whatever it is, I feel like you need to give yourself permission to be a little bit assertive, calm. Don't let your anger rule it. But I feel like payment where payment is due here.
Yeah, it is. It is important to be gracious. I know some people desperately need, the clue by 4 around the side of the head, but that only serves to frustrate you. So, isn't it obvious? Don't they get it? Can't they see? Apparently, no, it's not, because they don't get it and they can't see. And it doesn't matter how, frustrated you become by their inability to see through your eyes, they will never see through your eyes. And all you can do is perhaps try to enlighten, try to show, but don't allow it to become a source of frustration for you, But yeah, if there's a degree of how should we say, thoughtless apportioning of resources, I want to call it that. I don't want to call it straight up plagiarism, but somebody maybe laying claim to something that really isn't theirs, or that they haven't put the work in. And I know that can be frustrating also, but I don't know, everybody's desperate for some kind of recognition, I think is the thing at the end of the day.
An employer related sort.
Okay,
yeah.
All right.
It's some kind of thing that needs to be
don't
right.
Let it frustrate you though.
Card of the week.
Card of the week. I'm going to skip the ads again because it's going to try and throw more in. Right. It's nice they throw that up now. I saw
card of the week.
All right, what we got?
Patience is a virtue, kind of a thing.
It's not a bad card.
So I really think plans are important and nurturing those plans, right? Sometimes we do kind of need to give ourselves deadlines, or we just be caught in the plan. And again, I'm just going to start harking back to the beginning here, the universe is telling us, look and see what you control and what you don't control. And try to be prepared to deal with the things that need sorting.
But understand the grass grows all by itself. I mean, this is my constant gardener card, and it's really all they've done is what was necessary, nothing more. They've not been impatient. They've not tried to pluck the thing as it's grown. The second they start to see it, oh, I'll harvest it now. You've got to be patient. You've got to allow it to grow to fruition. But if you do what's necessary, those simple steps, and they're not overly complex, but it just involves attention to detail and
Light,
doing them
heat,
at the time
water,
when they're required,
weeding,
taking care of. If you take care of, it happens.
Yeah, the harvest comes.
And so it's patience, yes, but it will happen if you don't screw it up. And I think that's the important thing. We sometimes get ourselves in a tizzy, Our impatience gets the better of us. I'm not.
Well, we know what we
starting
want,
to
and we want
see
it now.
anything. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But
well,
we don't know how to
instant
ask for help to
gratification.
get it done, and But sometimes
right.
we just gotta get it done.
Constant gardener. Do what's necessary. It will happen.
All right.
That's us, I think, isn't it?
Well, look at that.
Look at that hour.
An hour gone by, and boy, have we covered a lot of ground at the beginning of this day.
Well, apparently you did.
All right, folks.
I got a.
Ho, ho.
I'm really.
Some more light reading.
Oh, this is a book which is still available. It's just a god awful amount of money for a tiny tome.
Well, that's
but it's
all right.
the reason being is it's.
Don't give anything away.
I'm not gonna.
All right. When the moon.
Stop. There will be none of that. All right. Have a great week, she says. Well, thank you.
Yes, everybody have a great week. Remember, there are things that are within your control, and they are the things like your thoughts and your actions, and they will make a big difference.
They will. They will. So thank you. If you haven't mashed that like button, please do so before you leave. Thank you for the super thanks sticker. I think that was a super thanks we got from Misty. Very kind.
And
we appreciate
spread
that.
the word. Look at the tarot for tomorrow if you can every day somewhere, and
share it.
Share it. Yes.
Share it. Sharing our channel is a good thing.
It helps
You
us,
could
and
do-
it
you
helps
could do
whoever
that on our
whoever
social
finds
media.
us. I think
Yeah,
maybe they find out they're not crazy after all. There's an explanation for things.
Or maybe they do find out they're crazy. These
Well,
things
we're all
happen.
here because we're not all there.
Well, ain't that the truth? All right. Thank you so
Thank you,
much for
people.
watching.
Peace.
Have
Have a
an
great week.
amazingly wonderful day, and we will see you soon. Bye for now.